Hey everyone, welcome to the live trading Thursday. I'm excited to be back with you guys again. I was gone for the last 2 weeks, had some traveling for work that I was doing. But we're looking at a fun market to be a part of right now. And want to go ahead and just dive right in here, guys. As you know, all the examples we're going to view in this live trading session should be viewed for educational purposes only, not taken as trading or investment advice. But guys, you know the drill. Go ahead and get your comments in. Go to get all the tickers, all the questions you want to look at. Aiden, I see you over there. Aiden's asking about a potential breakout on CVS. Awesome. So, we're going to do a quick recap of the overall market, see where things are, just so that we kind of have an idea of what's going on. Excuse me. I don't know what happened there. And then we're going to hit up Aiden's question on CVS first. But guys, I know how you guys roll. You guys like to load them up with tickers, so feel free to go ahead and start with that now. Let me go ahead. There we go. We're sharing the screen, looking at the overall market. We'll get a quick refresh. I haven't refreshed it in a few minutes here. Perfect. Right about where we thought it was. So we're looking at this, pretty bullish market in the short term, right? The long-term outlook is still questionable, right? But for the short term, as short-term traders go, we are looking pretty bullish here. I found this kind of interesting. Look at this. We had the 50 EMA. Let's try this. Let me get rid of some lines here. There we go. 50 EMA was support a couple times, and then we ran up, and then the last couple times, the 20 EMA acted as some support, right? We're kind of stepping up as far as that EMA time frame goes. And so that means a more bullish market. Now, if I put my lines back on here, and actually, this is kind of cool. I want to zoom in. There we go. That's really zoomed in. But you can see how this was a nice uptrending resistance line, right? And yesterday, that wick was almost perfect. Either the wick was, slightly off, or maybe more my line was maybe slightly off. But anyway, that was really close to being perfection right there on just kissing that line and coming back. And then today, another gap up, surprisingly enough, and so far today staying above that resistance line. So it's pretty hot. It could be potentially an exhaustion move, and then we might see some retracement. But very bullish in the short term here. So yeah, I think that was all that I needed to cover on this overall market here. We're obviously going to be looking at bullish trade setups right now, right? There's no... there might be some pretty bearish setups out there. I know there are a few, but overall, for the most part, we want to go with the flow, right? And if we think of the overall market tone as kind of your ocean, and what direction is the current going, right? Do we want to swim with the current, or do we want to swim against the current, right? Right now, the current is bullish in the short term. So we want to go ahead and look for short-term trades that match that. Now, it could be a little challenging to find patterns that are at a perfect buy point right now, because the market is quite a bit extended, and therefore many charts could be as well. So for that, we can always look and see, okay, what are some charts that are maybe setting up? They may be a little extended now, but maybe they can come back, so we're still going to be going out there looking for pretty patterns, right? Okay, awesome. All right, let's take a look at Aiden's here, looking at CVS. There it is, CVS Health Corporation. Again, the question is potential breakout, starting to open above the 50 for the first time since December. Yeah, okay, good eye there. Got several things in play here. Let's take a 1 year look at this. Wow. CVS got hammered. I think this line can make some... yeah, actually, that line didn't work as well as I thought it would. Let me adjust that line here. Just want to kind of get a frame. That might be... well, it's a little challenging to get the perfect line on there. May not have the perfect line, but you can see it was downtrending heavily, right? It has kind of broken that downtrend and gone sideways for a little bit. Now, yeah, it's above the 50-day, but it closed above the 50-day once, and then yesterday just below it, and then today we're up above it again. I think another line that is worth noting could be this. Maybe, hopefully, that's your floor. But currently, here's another line. Look at this. Look at my crosshairs. That's a strong line worth noting, right? So I see that it's above the 50, right? I get that, but that was some support, a gap down actually, turned into resistance, and we're running right up to that resistance level right there as well, right? So Aiden, I'd say this is a great one to keep an eye on, right? Keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's ready right now, and it may be a few weeks before it's ready. In fact, earnings here is August 2nd, so that's 3 weeks away still. You can see that BMO there as before market open, right? We just added that into the platform. There's before market open and there's after market close. So AFC for the other version. I think I didn't say for the past ones. It'll just be from here on out that you'll see BMO or AFC. So that's useful information because we need to know when we need to be out of the trade for earnings, right? So this is what we're looking at. I wouldn't go ahead and say yet that it is breaking out. I think we got to break this line to call it a breakout. And frankly, I'm just also looking, just back to the basics, right? Higher highs, higher lows, right? At least the low here was the same. If we actually break out and then move down, maybe turn this line into support again, and then bounce up. Let's see if I can draw this out a little better here. Use some tools. So if we can break out, it may not have to be that high necessarily. Come back down, and then once again head up. What do we have then? We've moved up. We made a higher high than this previous high. We've come back down. We made a higher low than the previous low, and now we're moving up again. That's what I would like to see. So this is again where we're kind of being, prescriptive in a way. I'm telling the chart, this is what you need to do for me to really get interested. Now, it's already, some of the starting pieces are already in place here. We broke the downtrending resistance line. The low wasn't lower than the previous low. So some of the pieces are already in place. We can keep watching it, but I'm not ready to take action on it yet. So it may be several weeks, and that's okay because we got earnings coming anyway. So maybe you don't even need to necessarily watch it. Maybe you just kind of put a note in your calendar or something like that. Hey, August 2nd, August 3rd, something like that. Come take a look at this chart again, see what it's doing, see if it's something that you want to be a part of. There you go. That's thoughts on CVS right there. So good one there. All right, Ruth wants to look at CLBR, asking if it's bullish. Let's take a look at CLBR. I'm not familiar with this one, frankly. Just not. Oops, let me change something up here. There we go. All right. So, I mean, in a way, let's look at a year. There you go, a year chart. Yeah, it's bullish to a point, right? It is going from the bottom left to the top right of our screen. But as you look at this chart, and compared to CVS, right? Let's look at CVS. This kind of looks like normal candlestick movement, whereas this just looks odd. It's like something is off, right? And so then you start digging in like, what is going on here? One thing you might notice is, well, while it is bullish, how bullish is it? The price isn't changing much, right? Back here, about a year ago, September 1st, opened up at about $9.71. Today it's at $10.18. This has only moved 48 cents. It's not moved much, even though on the chart it looks like it moves a lot, right? And then you look at volume, you can barely see any volume bars down here. We had a couple spikes where it went, into the millions, but your overall volume is down here as average volume right there, 30-day average volume, just over 500,000. It's barely good enough for a stock trade, but it's not good enough for options. Now you could say, well, I only want to do a stock trade. And if we zoom in a little bit more here, if you get a bounce off the 50, okay, one could say I might get in at 10.20 and ride it up to these highs right here, about 10.30. Okay, but I mean you're looking at a 1% move, right? this whole move from here, that's cool. I should use arrows more. That whole move from there to there, that's a 1% move. There's probably better trades out there, right? There's probably better trades out there. I'm guessing there's nothing in the form of options liquidity. Yeah, options are there's no good options. Liquidity is all the way pegged in the red. So that's an automatic no for options. So you can't even like leverage to help yourself out there. The fundamentals tab here is red as well. So I've got enough. This isn't to like slam your pick or anything, right? Because our job as traders is to find the best trades. And how do we do that? We eliminate the ones that aren't the best, right? So I've found enough kind of warning signs in a way, or things that I don't like, that for me, I'm moving along, right? I'm moving on. I'm passing up this one here. So yeah, that's my thoughts on CLBR. Ruth is also asking, don't you have to be prescriptive to know what you what to watch as long as you are reactive to a plan? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm understanding exactly what the question is there. But when I mentioned trying to be prescriptive, I'm trying to say, hey, the chart needs to do this, this, and this for me to be interested. And then, then if it does that, I can react with a plan, right? So that's kind of how it makes sense in my head. Ruth is also saying, learned about CLBR from a friend and I'm aware of changes coming. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you're aware of some changes coming, that could of course be different. Anything could happen, right? I mean, we could come back next week and this thing could be up at $20, $30, right? We've seen that before where charts just blow up. But, is that the probability? And then what is the information that your friend knows? And is it actually going to work out as they anticipate? You know what I mean? Earnings are good examples, right? Earnings, they kind of have, even if you knew what the numbers were, you don't actually know if the stock is going to go up or down, right? Because oftentimes we see great earnings and the stock tanks, or terrible earnings and the stock just races up. So it's different. It's different. It can be a challenge. All right, Aiden wants to look at XOM. Let's take a look here. He says XOM seems to be rolling, caught the last uptrend and is heading down to support again. Upcoming earnings, though. Yep, you've got that. Earnings coming up before market open here in just a couple weeks. You do see that rolling action there. So you got some support right in there. Let's just duplicate that or clone that line. And you've got some resistance somewhere right in there. That's pretty close. Definitely moving back down. Yeah, so then here's the question though, right? How many days on average has it been taking for it to make that move up? Right? If you got in on this, well, you wouldn't know that's rolling here. But let's just look at this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, on this fifth day, you can see the wick was up there. That was up at resistance. So that's 5 days. Let's look at this day. It's day 1. Again, let's move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth day, it hits that resistance line. It's kind of fun. Let's do this again. Well, looking in hindsight, I would use this day, but honestly, this day you might be in on this day. Either way, let's say if we use to say 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. Again here, 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. Didn't quite make it to that resistance line though. Although if it's me trading this roll, I'm not waiting for it to get all the way to resistance. I'm waiting for it to get just below resistance, right? So that resistance line's almost at like 108. For me, I'm probably looking at 107.50. Somewhere there is maybe where I'm going to sell. So let's say it moves down again tomorrow, and on Monday it pops up and gives us kind of a buy signal, right? Let's say it does that. Sorry guys, I need to turn off I thought I turned that off. Well, I have the pause notifications on. I don't know why that clicked on me. All right. Anyways, let's say it bounces up there, right? If this holds, this symmetry holds, then we'd be looking at potentially a move in within a week, like right 5 days. So that could actually happen before July 28th. So on XOM, if you get a good bounce in the next day or two, that could be considered for a quick roll, right? Again, it may not make it all the way up there. What happens though? Well, what if it makes it halfway up the channel and then earnings hits? Well, then you just got to get out of the trade. You take whatever profit there is. But based off the symmetry here, it absolutely could make that move back up to resistance before earnings. Absolutely could. That's a good find. Good find. All right. Ruth wants to look at FLYW. Flywire Corporation. Also haven't heard of them. Average volume looks better. The candlestick action looks better as well. Definitely bullish lately here. So that's nice. Probably could grab some lines right about there. You can see it respect that line pretty nicely there. That's a touch. That's a touch. That's a touch. That's a pretty decent line right there. Let's try and clone that and get a resistance line right on the top. See if we can get. I'm going to go right there. That has a lot of touches in it. So that's pretty close right there. I'm happy with that line. Zoom in again. You can see we kind of missed the last buy point, right? Bummer, because that's been moving up nicely, right? So we might need to wait for it to come back down. Earnings coming up again. You know, it's gonna be earnings season next month. So after market close that time, AMC. So earnings coming up in about 3-4 weeks there. So it might just be best to wait on this one, right? We obviously missed the buy point, right? I'm not getting in right now. But keep an eye on this one because it's making a nice pattern for the most part. And then after earnings, let's see if it can come back down and bounce off support again. So that'd be good. Yep. Ruth is asking, looks like it has re-entered long time channel. Yeah, so it depends on how you draw those lines, right? You might have a line. Let's just clone this guy again. You might have a line, something more like right here. And I'm not going to say that's wrong. Look at that. That was resistance back here. And then support, support, support. So I'm not going to say that's wrong. But I also see multiple times that it came below that and bounced. So you could have both lines on there. And it could absolutely come back to resistance and then come back down. And then use this support line again for a while, just as it has. And then someday it might come back down to this support line. So I think both are valid. Yep, both are valid. All right. Those are great to look at. Guys, want to let you guys know about the Trading Jumpstart Challenge. Trading Jumpstart Challenge is going to happen not next week, but the week after. This is a week-long it's a course where you can interact with the coaches, and it's exactly what it sounds like, right? You know, if you're new to trading, or if you're just coming back to trading after a long break, you might just need something to help jumpstart you, right? And so we're going to provide some good coaching, training on Charts by Tradeway, and a lot more in this Trading Jumpstart Challenge. In order to get more information, go ahead and email events@tradeway.com. Post it in the chat there. There it is, both YouTube, Facebook should see that, events@tradeway.com. So go ahead and check that out. That way you can get all the information you need. I believe it's $97 for that course, which frankly is a steal of a deal, right? Each day, about 2 to 3 hours or so, be in the markets with coaches, looking at things, lots of good education coming your way. So all that, you know, Monday through Friday for the $97 is just a fantastic deal. So go ahead and check that out. Even if you can't make them live, we do record them, right? So that is available as well. All right, guys, it's been a fun one today. We're going to wrap this one up. Go ahead and, well, I'll see you guys next week. So I'll be here next week again. So we'll see you guys then. All right. Thanks. Bye.